Hi, my name is Kim Swift, and I am the creator of Quantum Conundrum, and over playing right now is Mark Podorf, who is the lead technical director, and we're going to give you a really super fast demo of our game. So what he did just then is put in a fluffy battery. This powers the ability to switch dimensions on the fly whenever you want. So in addition to Fluffy being really, kind of cute, it's also pretty handy because he can now just pick up everything that he couldn't normally pick up because it's 10 times lighter. So as I said before, you can change dimensions anytime you want. So he's trying to break that glass there, but he can't when it's just Fluffy. But if he shifts to normal, while it's in the air, he can easily break through the glass. So that right there was a power converter, and it allowed him to get through the door once he put something heavy on it. That right there is Dolly. If you look up into the, hey Mark, turn around. Yeah, there we go. So that's Dolly, dynamic object linear ligation interface. It's the house cloning machine. Basically, you're this kid wandering around in this house that's owned by your uncle, who's a crazy mad scientist inventor, and you're trying to figure out where he's gotten to and obviously get yourself out of this whole situation. So, he wanted to take that battery to the receptacle over there, but he couldn't because there's some lasers in the way. So he's going to have to figure out a way to turn those off. So one thing he has in here that he didn't in the previous room is slow motion dimension. So when he activates that, everything moves 20 times slower, and he can turn that on and off whenever he wants. So that right there is actually a beam that turns off the lasers in the other room if he blocks it. So he has to figure out a way for that box to, I don't know, maybe hover there a little bit so he can get over to the other side. So yeah, using slow-mo, that thing is going to drop 20 times slower to the ground, gives him plenty of time to run over while that box is still blocking the blue beam and pop the battery in the receptacle. So looks like he needs to bring something over to the other side, like that safe there, so he can climb out. But clearly the lasers will block that as well. Once again, utilizing slow-mo, he can throw that safe, and as it's careening through the air, very, very slowly, gives him plenty of time to run over to the other side and block the beam. And he can watch the safe from the safety of that room there. So if it gets out and goes on to the next room. So sometimes Dolly malfunctions a little bit. And in this case, it's actually in Mark's favor here because it's created a dynamic bridge with slow-mo, allowing him to easily cross the gap. So there's some lasers. They will be toggled on and off by that safe. Getting those switches on the other side here. Or you could just use Fluffy Dimension because, now it's 10 times lighter. Press the switches. So we've nicknamed this level Basketball. You can kind of see why. He's going to need to get something in each one of those vats to power the door. So go ahead and hux in the first one. Awesome. All right, let's try the second one. All right, so clearly he can't throw that far. So one of the neat things about reverse gravity dimension is it gives you the ability to kind of hover things in the air. And we actually found this out by accident. We were just kind of playing around with the different dimensions and objects in our game, and one of our teammates came across this particular technique, and we just thought it was so awesome, we included it in the game. So if he throws the safe and switches back and forth between reverse gravity and normal, rather, it gives the ability to kind of sine wave float that safe into a vat. Yay! All right. this is actually a pretty good cross-section of our game in terms of difficulty as well as the types of puzzles that you'll see throughout the game. We'll have a total of 5 dimensions, 3 of which you've seen so far, and normal. So right here, he's actually creating an elevator for himself that he can control his speed of descent. And as you've probably noticed, dimensions don't affect you because you're wearing the IDS device. It keeps you basically stable in the normal dimension wherever you go. All right, looks like he's going to need to get to that platform in the middle there. So in addition to a difficulty progression, there's also a progression in terms of the environment that you're traveling through. When you first start out the game, it's definitely more house, and as you traverse through the game, you can see that it starts to become more of a laboratory the deeper and deeper you get into this house, as Professor Quadwrangle has retrofitted it more and more. So let's see, it looks like he needs 2 safes over there. So he can go ahead and throw it and get that to the other side. Awesome. Now here's the culmination of the demo here. One of the reasons why we picked all these levels is to show you that you can safe surf. So if he were to throw the safe, and once again switch to slow-mo, hitch a ride, and then use reverse gravity and normal to kind of float himself across. This is another piece of gameplay that we actually came across just kind of playing around, and decided that it was super fun and wanted to integrate it as a major part of the game. And happy end of demo star, yay! And that's the Quantum Conundrum demo. Thanks.
This is your uncle. Can you see the resemblance? He invents things, and sometimes his inventions work too well. Now he's trapped in another dimension. Wait, what? Time to save him from his own brilliance. Quantum Conundrum, coming to your dimension in early 2012.